Do you remember when we were talking, us three, me, you, and Eden?
Refresh my mind.
And I had said that we were around 20,000, and I said to him, I see this going to 17K.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. It's going to drop.
What's going to go to 17K,
He's
Steve?
like, no way, bro.
Steve, what's going to go to 17K?
This, the NASDAQ.
Okay.
And he's like, no way, bro. Where are we today? And like, if
But he
only
couldn't have predicted the tariffs.
No, but the momentum was like, it was happening. It was like this buildup. You have to understand, like the valuation of all these companies, you know, like Nvidia, Apple, everybody, like they're priced to perfection. Something goes wrong in the market, and they never do, right? The markets never crash, you know. And Trump is in office, and he became, you know, like this protectionist conqueror now, you know, and he's thinking of, you know, we have to think of ourselves here, you know. This is the kind of shit that happens, you know. And if you read a bit of the tea leaves a bit, I mean, if Warren Buffett is hoarding cash like crazy, and he pulled out from Apple 6 months ago.
6 months ago he did this?
Easily. He has $500 billion in cash today. Look at him.
That was honestly the crazy part.
So he's the richest guy in the world.
He will. No, but that's his company is 500. Him personally owns so many shares of
what's his name? Berkshire has 500 billion
in cash.
They were sitting heavy cash. It's true. Like they were just offloading one after the other.
And we're like, oh, the party's still going on.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm selling. And he pretty much nailed the top. Guys, he's just
pretty much
laughing.
sold out when the market was like the highest ever, no?
Yes.
Yeah, he sold before because the party kept going. You're right, Steve. And people were saying, can you imagine if he held on, how much he would have made?
Yeah.
And now he's going, ciao, see you later.
How much did I make? Yeah. He's laughing, this guy. Anyways, it's amazing. You know, if Warren is giving you the signal, you know, you should be listening a little bit. You know, what does he have? One of his biggest position is an oil company, is Oxy. Who knows what he might be adding to that position? Who knows? Hey, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. If you're loving this content, hit the like button and subscribe and join to our awesome community. Ring that notification bell so you'll never miss a beat. Together, we're building something so special. Let's grow this channel and let's have some fun along the way. For some more content, check out these other fantastic channels. You got Checkin Habs, one-stop shop for all those things. Habs, sports, you know, we got so much information on sports, guys. Come on. Hello. And Checkin Reports. Stay informed of the latest political news and current events. Hello. So that's it, fam. Come and check us out. Oil fucking took a shit. Honestly. It's just, you know, it's really tough.
How does oil take a shit? Don't we always need oil?
Yeah, we do, but
how does it take a shit?
When the rotation, when the flow of cash is just not moving anymore, and the economy is just, you know, Canada is a mess. If you don't know if you heard the numbers of Canada, they're a mess.
People still drive. Like, I don't understand like how it goes down.
It's not only driving though.
But everything is made of oil, so like, there's never a time that we don't need oil. So how does it go down in value?
It's just slowing down. But there's more reserves. There's also more reserves.
Less people buying.
There's less people buying.
I find it hard to believe because everyone like.
Yeah, I understand.
Everything's plastic. Everything runs on gas and gasoline. So I really find it surprising that it slows down oil, like the price of gasoline or oil, whatever.
Interesting.
Price is the price, man. You know, you can't. Close up to the April 2nd. So zoom in. You know how to do that? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, okay, keep it up. All right, there it is. All right. So April 2nd. See that?
What happened April 2nd? Okay, can I read this thing? It's always interesting. NASDAQ top and bottom. Wall Street drags NASDAQ near beat market. NASDAQ top and bottom performing stocks. Okay, there's nothing happened, right?
Well, I mean, today, Trump was talking. Then you had Powell talking. Then you had all these federal guys. It was a confluence of everybody talking, and nobody.
Is anybody saying anything?
Oh no, they're saying plenty of things.
Talking.
But Powell, Jerome Powell, he confirmed that. Listen, I'm not gonna move to touch anything our job is not to mix fiscal and like whatever the government is actually doing. We're not going to mix policies, kind of thing. We have our mandates, they have theirs. Oh my gosh, this is an awful. The market's like, no, this is not cool. Look at it, guys. Do you know what that means? The significance today. It was from 19. The second was at 19,000 to 17. That's 10%, no problem, right? In 2 days. That is wild.
And for me, tell me if I'm right or wrong. So in a very dumbed out way, what I'm understanding is like the reason it's going down is because people are afraid the tariffs are going to really make driving or make everything go bad. So I better sell out now while it's still valued. So that's why there's this massive dips, right? Sure. That's literally what's happening, right?
Can you imagine, now we're talking not just tariffs, we're talking about recession here. I'm talking about a global
The recession was coming no matter what, even if Trump didn't do these crazy things.
I think so.
Because when he went in, they said there was going to be no recession. And then when they start talking about tariffs, then they start saying, okay, this year could be a recession.
Well, most likely there was going to be a soft recession.
Like if he did nothing, no tariffs, no nothing.
I think there was still going to be a recession.
Probably.
This year?
Yeah.
Yeah, you still think?
There was going to be, there was talks of a recession hitting. I don't know how hard it was going to be.
Yeah.
I don't think it was going to be as hard as the
but this guy, Powell, the guy from Canada said, no, we're riding good. Like, we're not going to hit a recession.
Who said that?
Oh, there was still a risk.
People I saw, the numbers were still good.
Ontario is like at 7% unemployment, guys.
7?
That's recent.
Guys, take it as you want to hear it. It's not looking good for Canada.
Anyone, yeah, no.
And so this is also affecting United States, but global. That's why the price of oil is at because it means that there's dryness out there. There's no liquidity. And on top of that, banks are not going to be lending out as much. And, everybody's on standstill,
But usually to fight a recession, you give loans, no?
Yeah, well, you need to have liquidity. In
I don't know, they need to start, also need to print money a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if I last time I said the only way we're going to keep on going lower, most likely, until they announce QE.
Yeah.
Okay. When they announce that there's
what's QE?
Quantitative easing. It's another way of saying printing.
You mentioned
it. And this is the way that they're gonna, lower interest rates, create quantitative easing, and then there's maybe some churn afterwards. Maybe it might take a little time to, but the market will say, okay, finally some relief. Finally, some somebody's telling me it's good news here because there's no good news out there whatsoever. And Monday, this red candle there is probably going to get longer. And
which one?
The last one.
The last one.
That's ugly there. That's so ugly. On a Friday afternoon, you don't want to see that. You want to see a little bit of a, today on my top step, I blew up and I got to, I was like, fuck. There was no buyers and, kept on.
Everybody's selling.
Yeah. And just this week I was doing so good. And unfortunately, I lost this account. I was no problems, doing so good. And you see what you're about to see. And like on Friday, on that Tuesday, whatever it is, okay, it's time to be, it's going to go short. And then it popped that back up.
Yeah.
And then